Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Welcome back to another Fox Valley picking video. Now, welcome to the playoffs, and because it's playoff time, games are different. And what I mean by that is normally we have 5 matchups. We have a game of the week, and we have a crossover, we have 5 matchups, a crossover, and a game of the week. But this week we have 4 matchups. All of them are crossovers. But unfortunately, none of them are worthy for the game of the week. So to do these playoffs, I'm going to start off with 6A, which I have right here. I have the predictions for the entire 6A class, and I'll be going down the line doing all the Fox Valley schools there, and then I'm going to go to 8A, where I will be picking the Huntley versus Maine South game. That is the only other game that is within the Fox Valley. The only Fox Valley game that is not in 6A. But yeah, anyways, let's get on to it. The first game that we have is probably the closest game that I can get to a game of the week. All of these games are just bad, especially in the first round. Second round, it gets a little better. Quarterfinals is when it starts getting like really, really good. But for now, we're just going to have to deal with, mediocre games. The first one, which, like I said, will be closest to the game of the week. The only reason why I'm doing this first is because it's the lowest seed. We have number 3 seed Kenwood versus number 14 seed Crystal Lake South. Kenwood is a Chicago public school, and this game will be played at Gately Stadium in Chicago. The team who I have winning is Crystal Lake South, coming up in an upset, and I call it an upset due to the seedings, but I don't really think it's going to be too much of an upset because Crystal Lake South, because Kenwood is a Chicago public school, and normally they're not very good at football. I don't know much about Kenwood, but I can tell you that, from what I've seen, is that Chicago public schools aren't the best when it comes to football. With Crystal Lake South, they've been good all season, and even though they're only 5-4 team, they've had some pretty close games against pretty close opponents. And each of their 4 losses were a 7-point loss to Cary Grove, a 5-point loss to Calb, a 7-point loss to Prairie Ridge, and the only really bad loss was to Dundee Crown. Those were basically it. Besides that, Crystal Lake South has had a really good season, and I think that they're going to come up with a 14-3 upset over Kenwood. Next matchup we have is Prairie Ridge, who is 7-2, who will be hosting number 12 seed Hinsdale South. What I think is going to happen is that Crystal Lake South is going to win, and they're going to win big. I think PR is really good. They've got a tough road. If they make it all the way to the state championship game, they would have a tough road. But I think that in this first matchup, they're going to beat Hinsdale South. Finally, in 6A, we have number 1 seeded Cary Grove, who will be hosting number 16 seed Wakanda. The neighbors are playing against each other, even though they don't play in conference. They're still neighbors, and I think that Cary Grove is going to win without a doubt. Keep the roll going. Cary Grove is a really good team, and let's be honest. Why would they lose to a 16 seed? There might be a chance that I jinx it, but I doubt it. I think that Cary Grove has this one in the bag, and I have them beating Wakanda. Last matchup, we're going to 8A, and even though I didn't make a bracket for 8A, I know what the matchup is. We have number 6 seeded Maine South, who is, I believe, 8-1, who will be hosting number 27 seed Huntley. Now, 8A is a lot different than 6A because They seed the teams 1 through 32, and each teams, or the teams pretty much all over the state play against each other. It isn't just a normal region and a southern region like 6A and under. 7 and 8A, you pretty much play against the entire state. So for that matchup, I don't think Huntley is going to win. I feel like Maine South is really, really tough team. Huntley has been a very inconsistent team, and they're 6-3. Their 3 losses came to a last-second touchdown against, or not a last-second touchdown. Who were their 3 losses against? They lost to Cary Grove by 2 touchdowns. They lost 49-7 to Crystal Lake South, and they lost to a 2-5 Naperville North team. I don't know. I'm just gonna pick Maine South and just be done with it. So after this week, from what I'm thinking, the only 3 teams that will be left in the Fox Valley Conference are Cary Grove, Prairie Ridge, and Crystal Lake South. So yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.